Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome once again to the Die or Pass Level Podcast, the gaming podcast that remembers. That's right, we're going down the chain of memories to uncover hidden gems and bringing them to you. I'm Ray, your player one, and with me as usual, the student in training, currently soul searching for his Street Fighter main. You know him, you love him, he grew up in the woods. TDK, how are you doing?
What's up, guys? I guess I'm player two, which makes perfect sense. I'm definitely player two on this podcast.
Our multi-tap is in need of a third player, and I've got just the person. Today's guest is a gamer's gamer with a vast knowledge of both modern and retro gaming. His opinion pieces on social media have gained him a huge following. I'm certainly a fan. Outside of his skills in the arts of hack and slash, he is also a talented artist. Everyone please say hello to the awesome CRT Craig. How you doing, man?
Wow, bro. That was a masterpiece. Seriously. Thank you so much for having me, bro. Proud to be player three, on this podcast.
Welcome.
This is the first time ever I've been on a podcast, and I was honored. Like when you asked me, when you hit me up, I was like, bro, let's do it.
How are you doing? What games are you playing?
I've been playing Crimson Desert lately. It's a very divisive game. Some people think it's great. Some people think it's, overhyped. So I've been playing that. I've been playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds on my Steam Deck. I've been playing Mario Kart Wii. And I beat Resident Evil Requiem. That's my personal game of the year. Yeah, that's why I did that art piece.
Yeah.
And Romeo's a Dead Man. Oh my God, Suda51. Shout out Suda51 and
Shout out
Grasshopper
Suda.
Manufacturer. Oh my God, bro. Such an underrated game. Like if you're into the hack and slash genre, Romeo's a Dead Man all day.
Last year was a super busy pop-in kind of season for gaming, and it feels like this year is more of the same, dude, because that game is fire, but it's just buried underneath all these other games that are releasing back to back to back. My wallet is hurting, and it's going to continue to hurt, man.
I know, bro. We got Sorrows coming out next month.
Yep.
Then we got Forza Horizon 6 coming out in May. We got Pragmata, Capcom's brand new IP, also coming out April 17th. My birthday's April 21st, so that's an early birthday gift for me. There's a lot of great games coming out this year. And honestly, I think that 2026, in my opinion, it already beat 2025 for me. I feel like this year was handcrafted for me. We started off with Romeo's a Dead Man. Hack and slash. I love my hack and slash games and it was amazing. I loved RE9. I try to keep my expectations low with any big game, especially a franchise like RE, because I'm a giant fan of the RE franchise since I was a little kid. I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed with Village. I didn't really care for Village that much, but 9, it blew my expectations away. And Koshi Nakanishi, the director for Resident Evil 9, what a legend. Like that man is amazing. I thought he did a phenomenal job directing RE9.
I think the last one I really sunk my teeth into, and apologies to my Resident Evil gamers, but I think it must have been RE4 on GameCube, man. I don't know. With age, I'm getting more and more scared, and especially with RE7 and like the vibe of that one, I was like, dude, I don't know if I can handle a game like this. With all the reviews and how great the reviews were for Requiem, I was like, I'm a power through. So I'm still playing it. I'm halfway through, and the gray sections are pure terror.
Yeah, nightmare fuel.
Wait, I'm going to jump in. It's very obvious, and I think it's awesome that you guys are going to be best friends because you're both like the same type of gamer. But Craig, we got to take it back. You got to tell us how you got into this. You got to tell us what it was like when you were a kid. What was the first game you fell in love with? What was your first console? Did you have a basement? Where did you play? What were your snacks? Like, take us back and set the scene, and let's like ramp up to the superhero gamer you are now.
Absolutely, bro. So the first game I ever played was Metroid Prime 1 for the GameCube. Out of purple Nintendo GameCube.
What a great first game to play.
You think that set the seed for like where your trajectory went?
Yeah, honestly, I think Metroid Prime created me. I don't think I would be the man I am today if it wasn't for Metroid Prime, because I was 4 years old, and a 4-year-old is reading words like photosynthesis and cataclysm and all of these big science fiction-y words. And you're like, what is this? And I think what blew my mind away was seeing a human being morph into a ball. That was such an abstract concept for a young Craig. And I think that's what really got my creative juices flowing. That also contributed to, my art and just being creative as an artist, but also kaiju films. Even besides video games, I'm really big into Godzilla. I mean, my PFP for my gaming account is Ultraman. I love Ultraman and Gamera.
Right. Wait, look at this. Here we go.
Oh,
It was on the floor.
Bro.
My I spent I spent a lot of time in Japan for work, and whenever I would go to Japan, of course, I'm going to bring back Ultraman or Japanese early versions of Power Rangers. It's an excuse to buy cool toys, and then like your kid grows up playing with cool toys. But I'm with you. I love Ultraman. I love kaiju stuff.
Bro. So yeah, I loved Godzilla growing up, kaiju films growing up, but this would have never been possible if it wasn't for my dad. First of all, we share the same birthday. We both had the same birthday. I was my dad's birthday gift. Yeah.
Me and my mom share the same birthday. We are destined. We are destined, man. That's crazy.
How does that work? Like, they make it about you, I'm sure, but then as an adult, I bet it's a really special thing to share.
Well, it's so funny because I joke with my dad. It's kind of like communism. It's our birthday. It's our birthday. You know what I mean? It's not your birthday. It's not it's our birthday, Yeah, growing up, it was always about, no, it's Craig's birthday, like I'm pushing 40, my son's birthday, but growing up now, it feels like our birthday. I'm really blessed with the childhood that I had because a lot of my friends in high school, they tend to be fanboys of something, right? You have the Nintendo fanboy, the Xbox fanboy, the PlayStation fanboy. But I never had no strong allegiance to any of these brands because my father blessed me and my brother with everything. I mean, we had a Sega Game Gear, we had a GameCube, we had a PS2, PS1, we had a Dreamcast, we had Xbox Original, we had everything. Like every single...
Was he playing too? Was that part of it?
Oh yeah, he was playing. My dad is a gigantic Metal Gear Solid fan. He put us onto all these different consoles, so I got to, experience all of these amazing brands, But Metroid Prime 1 and also Ninja Gaiden, and then of course Devil May Cry 1. No Devil May Cry since Devil May Cry 1 has an atmosphere as powerful and eerie and dark and oppressive.
The way that game showcased the PS2 at the time too, it was just such a special game, man. The frame rate of that with the camera movements and the camera chains, and you actually made a post about it, so I don't got to tell you this, but yeah, it's got the framework of a Resident Evil game with the camera angles and stuff like that because it was, for a while, Resident Evil. Yeah, amazing game, man. It was
supposed to be Resident Evil 4. Yeah, so it has that traditional RE DNA in it.
Exactly.
How did this setup work? Did you have all of these consoles at the same time, multiple TVs? Did you have the ultimate childhood gaming experience that none of us had?
I had my own CRT. My brother had his own CRT. And in the living room, we had like a 60-inch CRT. It was a fossil, bro. This thing was gigantic. It was heavy. It was thick.
Yeah, that thing fell over. You're dead.
It was really cool because in my brother's room, that's where the PS2 was. In my room, that's where the GameCube was. In the living room, that's where the Xbox Original was. Because my dad, he loved the Xbox Original. Like, he loved the PS2 and the GameCube, but the Xbox Original was like his console.
I'm with your dad. You could play DVDs on it. Remember, that was like, whoa, this thing plays movies, you know what I mean? It was just a different world.
And speaking about something that'll fall on you, that'll kill you.
Yo, yeah, bro. You kidding me? That thing is a monster, bro.
Yeah.
That original Xbox with the X and the green, it was just so clean.
It's so funny you mentioned that because I made a video about this 2 weeks ago about console UIs and how, console UIs back then so much better. I mean, bro,
Remember
the Xbox
blades,
Original,
the Xbox Blade, that was so clean.
Yeah. I mean, the Xbox Original, I felt like I was in a Star Trek mothership.
Yeah.
It was just so sick. The PS2, you hear the ocean waves and like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
About that.
We do a little game called Name That Tune here and there, Craig. So I'm just going to hit you with an early one right now. Do, 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 do.
Oh, bro, that is definitely Star Fox. That's Star Fox 64.
It's the Wii menu.
No, I know. I was trolling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I actually cried when I got the Wii because I asked for it for Christmas. I even drew it out. I was like, this is what I want. I drew the Wii because you gotta understand, like, I even have my Wii remote and my nunchuck, like this thing, like at the time, I mean, even to this day, it's like, whoa, I wish Nintendo would have never stop this. You know what I mean? Like, I wish the gyro controls, the motion controls were still at the forefront. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what they could have done.
Untapped potential for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I think when the Wii came out, we all assumed the next version would be like Minority Report, pushing things around, and that just never happened.
Try as they may, connect. Even the Switch 2 and the Switch original have the Joy-Cons. I do wish that I would be able to utilize them a little more, but they kind of dipped off of that idea. And like you said, there's so much more to to explore there. And I don't know, maybe eventually at some point we'll get a Wii 2. I'd be in for that, dude. I would be so in for that.
Because I'm going to be honest, bro, my Switch 2 is just catching dust. I mean, I definitely want to get Pocopia. Looks pretty cool. I like the concept. I think it's very unique, being a human Ditto, and helping your fellow Pokemon. That's pretty cool conceptually.
What I do want to know about next, though, was there a place outside your home that you kind of experienced a lot of gaming from too? And it seems like, if anything, you were having friends come over to your place.
Honestly, even to this day, my house is still the HQ to nerd out. So I live in Long Island, New York. So it's very suburban. When I say New York, people think Manhattan. I'm like 2 hours out from the city. I'm a suburban type of guy. That's just my vibe. So, suburban kids, what do we do for fun? We go over each other's houses, ride our bike down the street and stuff. Yeah, I would go to my friends' houses and we would play the 360. They had a 360 before me, but yeah, it was pretty much like going to other friends' houses and also just like riding around the neighborhood on our bikes and stuff like that. Also, like going to museums. I love museums. It's so funny because, there's a strong correlation, right? If you're a gamer, you're also into anime. And that's a giant misconception about me. People think I'm a big anime guy. I'm not. I'm not into anime at all. I respect it as an art form, but it's something that I liked more growing up or when I was little. And then I grew up and I was like, it's cool. Me and my brother actually switched places because he used to make fun of me for watching Naruto. And now he's into Naruto. So it's kind of funny how that works. For me, besides playing games, it's, listening to bands, shout out Deftones, my favorite band. It's listening to metal, rock, finding new music, going to museums, and also creating art. Like I said before, I have a BFA in visual arts and also doing photo shoots. So I'm very artistic. Besides video games, I got to be creating some.
I think we both probably intuit how you got into video games because we had the same experience. But do you diverge or do you always do both at the same time?
Yeah, so it also started at 4 years old. My mom actually has my first drawing that I ever did. It was a little puppy that I drew on a sticky note. I drew Godzilla monsters, King Ghidorah, Rodan, Megalon. I was drawing all of those Godzilla monsters. And then from the Godzilla monsters, it branched out into reptiles, drawing animals. And then from animals, it became people and then cartoon characters, anime characters. And, in art school, you have to do like anatomy, drawing from life.
Your style is like very photoreal.
Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, I love realism. A lot of people, I would say a lot of their styles are more illustrative, more cartoony. For me, I love realism. Like you just feel fulfilled. It's like, wow, I did what my camera did. And, and then also in the world of AI, right? I think people value when an actual human can create something that looks realistic and everything like that. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Is that something you ever thought about marrying, those two loves, video games and your art?
So, it's so crazy. I wanted to be a game developer growing up. I saw how chaotic the industry is right now.
Totally.
And I feel like if I were to join right now, it's like throwing an innocent little puppy into a cyclone. People are getting let go of. Companies are shutting down. It's not something that I want to expose myself to at this moment in time. I've always been passionate about game development. And if I want to, I have the credentials. If you look up what these companies want, they want BFA or a degree in coding or computer science. So I could if I really wanted to, but do I want to put my mental sanity? Like I have more fun talking about games and dissecting game design than I think I would actually making a game. You know what I mean?
Chaotic's a good word. I've always dreamed about, well, what if you worked at EA or what if you worked at Naughty Dog? But then there's also the reality of that would be so hard. You wouldn't sleep. They work insane hours.
You mean you don't want to work 20 hours a day, make a successful video game, and then get let go for it?
Bro, those Rockstar crunch times? Yeah, I want that.
Sign me up.
Crazy. Yeah.
That said, we're all three going to buy GTA 6. Rockstar is not going to buy it.
I feel like if Oracle came down from the sky and said, you're going to be a director for Capcom or something, I genuinely think I could direct that crew to make a great game. And not only am I playing these games, but I'm studying them. Why do I like it? Really dissect it. What is good about this game? What is bad about this game? What could they have done better? That mentality is kind of a gift and a curse because when I play a game, I would like to enjoy it like a normal consumer, but the artist in me is, how could we make it better? What if they did this? I just go down this rabbit hole.
Is there one that sticks out? Is there a game that there's just one thing you would change about it that you're just like, man, if only?
Well, I have gone to war with this community so many times because of this smooth brain take, as they call it. I love Elden Ring so much. I hated the open world. I thought the open world was poorly executed. I thought it was bloated, barren, empty. It was just very lackluster. I love Elden Ring so much, but the open world is the deterrent that prevents me from returning back to it. Best bosses in the Soulsborne franchise by far. The OST is immaculate. Sonically, the game is amazing. Visually, I mean, Liurnia of the Lakes, Caelid, all of these different biomes in the game are luscious and beautiful. And the gameplay is sick. I love the gameplay. Like, the boss battles are theatrical and the combat, but the open world, bro. You know, and people say, well, then name a better game that has a better open world. And the thing is in general, I'm not a big open world kind of guy. And I know this is going to sound hypocritical and ironic, but I love the open world of Fallout 3. And it's ironic because the Capital Wasteland, what is there? Everything was blown up. There's nothing much. But old Bethesda has a way of making the open world very atmospheric and immersive. And I don't know, every time I was exploring the Capital Wasteland, and I played Fallout 3 when it came out back in 2008, dipping to 20 frames per second back in the day, you know? And I remember I'm constantly like, whoa, what's over there? Oh, what is that? I don't know. Something about old Bethesda games, the open worlds call to me and they make me want to explore more. Whereas with the open world in Elden Ring, I was kind of like, it's gorgeous. I don't know. It just, you know, didn't do it for me. If I had to fix something, I think it would be the open world of Elden Ring. I would have loved if it was linear, like Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne. I'm a linear type of guy. I'm going to be honest. Linear games, it's like meat. Open world games is like fat. It's like there is some meat in there, but it's mainly fat.
That's a great analogy. I've never heard anyone say that. Doesn't it seem like the community of gaming in general prefers open world? Like everyone talks about it. Of course, GTA, but Red Dead. But I don't know. The games that are just the quick, fun, they just don't let you off the rails and you just keep going on the story. Like that's probably like the most immersive. A good example would be BioShock. Like not open world, pretty linear.
One of my favorite games of all time.
Right. What's a more immersive game than BioShock?
Would you kindly get rid of open world games?
Yeah. There he is.
Right? Would you kindly? Certain games, open world makes sense, right? Like if there was a Spider-Man game, but it's just corridors and it's linear, that is weird. Yeah, it's like
those games existed. We played those games as kids, and it was just good to have a Spider-Man game. But it was not the same.
But now it's like, you know, you're swinging from, you know, skyscraper to skyscraper, and it makes sense. But my problem with the industry these days is I feel like there's just a checklist of what to do because it's guaranteed to make profit. It's safe.
Totally.
Oh, we got to make it live service. It has to be open world. We need microtransactions. We need all of this slop. I don't think a lot of publishers realize like how much money they would make if they just actually had faith in their developers to make what they want. Just let them do what they want. I mean, look, bro, look at RE9.
Look at Capcom over the last 4 or 5 years. I feel like they should be the blueprint. They are succeeding. They are making great video games that people want, selling so many units. Why don't other people follow suit? They're on an epic run right now. I hope Pragmata is as good as I want it to be, because that's another one I'm really excited to play too. And hopefully it just continues their streak.
Yeah, bro. Capcom right now is like the 2016, 2017 Golden State Warriors. You know? Like right now, they're killing it, bro. They're killing it.
They can't miss. They can't miss.
They cannot miss.
Let me ask you another question, Craig. This is going back in time a little bit. If you could relive one gaming moment exactly as it was, so we're not changing anything this time. Relive a gaming moment exactly as it was from your childhood. What gaming moment would you revisit?
If I could revisit like one game, right? Like kind of like erase my memory and like play it all over again. Probably BioShock 2007. I really love.
So good.
I mean, it's in my top 5 games of all time for a reason. Everything about it. First and foremost, the setting. When you think of a city under the ocean, you know, you probably think of Atlantis, or you think of Disney, right? But this is not Disney. This is a polar 180. I mean, just think about it. Like, you know, like the Soulsborne games, right? There are Souls-likes, right? There are Souls-like. There are games that are very akin to the Soulsborne games. but there is not a game that is quite like BioShock. Maybe Prey from 2017, because it's,
it's got
a
that
sim,
DNA.
but there is not a game that scratches that itch of BioShock 2007. It's just a standalone experience,
Well, the story was so tight too. It's like, say you get the mood right, say you get the setting, say it's something original and it's like a very cool mood, which is like probably the hardest thing to nail. But the writing in BioShock was so tight. I can't believe we don't have a movie. I just want to keep going back to Rapture.
Yeah, I even loved BioShock 2.
Ray, I'm curious,
bro.
what's your one moment that you'd go back to? I don't know if I've ever heard you answer that.
Man, gameplay wise, if I had to erase a game from my memory, I might go with Ocarina of Time, and just go back to when I was a kid playing Ocarina of Time for the first time. My little 5th grade brain solving those puzzles and feeling like the biggest brain 11-year-old on the planet.
Bro, that's how I felt playing Metroid Prime. What 4-year-old is playing Metroid Prime?
That's impressive, honestly.
Yeah.
I know you're obviously a little younger than us, so your childhood memories are different from ours, but I'm curious, do you ever jump back into video games before your time?
I mean, I have a Sega Genesis, I have SNES and everything like that. I have Kid Chameleon, but yeah, Kid Chameleon, it's tough. It's a tough game, bro. It's a tough game.
Yeah, it is.
The thing is like with games from those generations, it's 2D sprites and they tend to be platformers. For me, even now, like with like Shinobi Art of Vengeance, great game by the way, or like Hollow Knight Silksong. I guess I'm just not a big 2D type of guy. I don't think it has nothing necessarily to do with the generation per se, but just the overall genre.
Got it.
I think I'm just more attracted to just 3D spaces. So I wouldn't say it has nothing to do with like that gen is bad or anything like that. It's just more so a taste kind of thing. I definitely do dibble dabble with the 4th, 5th gen games and stuff like that because my dad grew up with it. Obviously, I grew up playing, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2. I have them. Sonic and Knuckles, that was another one I grew up with. Oh, Ghosts and Goblins, bro. Freaking Ghosts and Goblins. Oh, in terms of Dreamcast. Bro, you guys can't see it, but I got my Soul Calibur 1 right there, my Code Veronica back there. I love the Dreamcast so much. That is what introduced me to Soul Calibur. I mean, I played Soul Calibur 1. So like certain people, they grew up with Soul Calibur 3 or Soul Calibur 4. My first Soul Calibur was Soul Calibur 1. Me and my brother would play it on the Dreamcast, and I have my little Rumble Pack. The Dreamcast, it's so underrated for how powerful that console was back in the day. Like, people don't give the... And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Like, Sega in general just does not get the flowers they deserve for their console.
Ooh, you're preaching. You're preaching. TDK's crying.
Yeah, I wish Sega just gave it one more go. One more go with the consoles after Dreamcast. Like, I wish they would have never stopped.
I'm on record. I've said this before on the pod, but they did, except it was Xbox. Like, Microsoft pretty much took the reins. And Xbox is Dreamcast too. Look at the controllers. Look at the whole thing. It's just the evolution.
It's the spiritual successor of
100%.
Sega, pretty much.
Yeah. I can sleep well at night knowing that it just was called Xbox.
In a way, yeah. I love their Xbox original. Ninja Gaiden 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. My top 5, it's in there.
It's up there for me too. I played the hell out of Ninja Gaiden Xbox. I learned one move in that game and I kind of spammed it. I'll be honest, but it was just so effective.
The flying swallow. Yeah.
Just knocking heads off left and right, dude. That game was awesome.
Are you a fighting game fan? Do you... Because it seems like you would be, but then that's very 2D most of the time, right? So are you going back to Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo or any of that stuff?
Killer Instinct, the first Killer Instinct.
So good.
Bro, that, oh my God. Killer Instinct, and also, Mortal Kombat 2, I have an issue with because the CPU in that game, that's such BS. Like, it's like,
the
how
CPU in all Mortal Kombat games are broken, dude. They just want your quarters.
Broken, I mean, so in terms of fighting games, so I love Killer Instinct, and I love that game because of how fast it was. And that's what differentiated Killer Instinct from Street Fighter, from Mortal Kombat, is it was really fast, ultra combo, you know what I mean? It was crazy. Yeah. But these days, I would say I love Tekken 3, Tekken 1, Tekken 2. I have Tekken 4 for PS2. I have Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. I love Tekken.
I asked you on your socials what kind of main you usually gravitate to. I know you said grapplers, is that right? Or like the heavies? So are you a king main in Tekken, or who are you using?
I'm attracted to brute characters. I don't know why, but every fighting game, I just like the brute characters. So for example, in Tekken Jack 8 is my main. Kuma, Panda, Armor King. And then in Soul Calibur, I loved Astaroth and Nightmare. Rock, he had like the big elephant mask and the big staff. And in Street Fighter 6, Marissa, I just like the brute characters for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm just like, who's that big dude? I'm picking him.
I'm literally the opposite. I'm like, who's that small girl? That's who I want to main. I'm Kimberly in Street Fighter 6. I pick Lin Xiaoyu in Tekken. The mix-up, really fast, kind of trick you characters.
Very agile.
One of these days, we gotta run the set.
Absolutely, bro. Fun fact, my dad and my brother also play Tekken. We play Tekken sometimes. We have a little family tournament, invite friends and everything like that. You guys can't see it, but I have my hitbox right here. But yeah, I'm a really big fighting game guy. And the reason why I love fighting games is because fighting games is very akin to playing an instrument and mastering an instrument, right? It's very rhythmic. That's just something that I love about fighting games is the trial and error. That's why I love the Soulsborne games, you know? It's all about perseverance. And if it has perseverance, I'm going to love it. I don't know. I just like difficult games.
Ray is actually a professional musician and like an elite fighting game guy. So like that's a very astute observation,
right?
Because like this is
nailed it on the head. That's literally
wow, bro.
Why
that's
I like
crazy.
fighting games. I mean, I used to go to Evo, and I'm a composer, been in bands growing up, and I love challenging video games just like you. Hollow Knight Silk Song. The appeal to it for me is that like a lot of people give up on it. I'm just all about being reactive, memorizing patterns. It's very much a musician's kind of video game, you know.
All right, well, bro, we have a lot in common. I'm not going to lie.
I'm telling you, I see your hot takes and I'm like, that's not a hot take. I 100% agree with that. I personally tend to see a video game. A lot of times I kind of know I'm going to like that video game just by how stylish the game is. And I think you like a lot of very stylish games too. And I'm not certain, but I can imagine that you like the Beautiful Joe.
Yes, I did.
Jet Set Radio. Just games that like are doing something different, that are far from what everyone else is doing. I'm like, dude, I want to play that game. Suda 51, great example.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I definitely like games that are experimental, that are difficult. We live in a day and age where, because of social media, and I love social media, but I'm a firm believer that it has done more negative than positive, unfortunately, to our society. One of the negatives is instant gratification, especially my generation. You know, nobody wants to work hard for anything. Everybody wants things just hand-fed to them all the time, you know? So me, I like working for it. A lot of people are like, you know, screw this game, man, like whatever. But me, I'm like, it actually attracts me. The more I'm losing, the more I'm like, no, I have something to prove. No, I got to beat this.
You're preaching to the choir. That's what I was going to say. Fighting games is that same thing. If I play someone that is bodying me, I'm just like, run it back more. I got to gather the data and I got to like solve my opponent.
I am 100% there with.
Okay, I got some games lined up for you. I'm calling this best in the series. I'm giving you a series of games and you're going to tell me which iteration or which version of this game is the best. So I'll start with Mortal Kombat. Best in the series. Which one?
Oh my God, it's so many good ones because I love Armageddon. I love Deception. But in terms of a Mortal Kombat game that I played a lot, I'm going to have to go with MK9. I actually started streaming with MK9, you know, and the competitive scene in that game was great. I mean, that was when Mortal Kombat was actually relevant in the competitive scene. It hasn't been relevant in a long time since Mortal Kombat 11.
I'm an outsider when it comes to fighting games, but isn't Mortal Kombat 2 like the obvious best in the series, most nostalgic, the one that people played, blew everyone's mind?
Let me be devil's advocate a little and also like jump over on Craig's side of things too, because MK2, what an upgrade from Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, you could play as Reptile, blood everywhere, the whole thing.
Amazing game. Probably my number one, but I can argue MK9 right there with it because we went into like this 3D era of Mortal Kombat, which was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when Mortal Kombat 9 got announced, it was like, oh, Mortal Kombat is back the way that I remembered it, back on the 2D plane. And it was competitive because this is when Street Fighter 4 came out. And so we were seeing this fighting game renaissance. For someone like me, I was like, dude, yes, more fighting games. That just meant more community. That's basically what I was all about, especially back then. I had a blast with MK9. I think I was a Smoke main, Ninja Smoke.
I loved Raiden and Noob
Oh
Saibot.
yeah,
Is just
Whew,
awesome.
dude, that fatality is still up there with the most brutal in any Mortal Kombat.
The way he rips.
Nasty.
Man, that was crazy. Because
All right.
before Mortal Kombat 9, we had Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, and that game could have been so awesome, and they screwed it up.
Hopefully they get their second opportunity and do something with that.
Shout out
together.
Injustice. We need an Injustice 3.
I'll bet it's on the way. There are rumors that Warner Brothers wants them to stick with Mortal Kombat just because it makes them the most money.
Of course, right?
Yeah, just like we were talking about. All right, Metal Gear.
My opinion, 3. I know people like the remake. I'm sorry. I like the OG better. I like the art direction better. I think it's better. Bro, people call me Unk, and they call me, what else they call me? I nostalgia bait or whatever. Or I'm always seeing things with like rose tinted glasses because I said that I like OG RE4 better than the remake. I'm sorry. Like the remake is great. The OG RE4, it's just so atmospheric. I like the enemy designs better. The character designs better. The color palettes. I don't know. I like Shinji Mikami's direction with the OG RE4. The remake is great. I still prefer the OG. It's a little clunky by today's standards, but it's definitely not bad.
The control scheme that basically revolutionized third-person shooters cannot be faulted very much. It's literally why video games are the way they are, even to this day in some cases. So RE4, man, game changer. Which iteration of Street Fighter is your favorite?
I love Street Fighter 4. Oh my God. In 2008, bro, that game shook the earth. The competitive scene, Street Fighter 4 was insane.
Street Fighter 2 obviously created the blueprint, put the groundwork in. Street Fighter 4, man, what a time. I remember when Street Fighter 5 was about to come out, we checked the hour log of our Street Fighter 4 copy that we'd play at this one communal house, and it was over 10,000 hours, dude. We had a house that we went to. We called it Street Fighter University. All we would do.
Well, let me
Ray,
tell you
that's
something,
your origin
man.
story, bro. That's the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours to master any
Right.
skill set, right?
LAN parties are so underrated. We need more LAN parties.
It's just the
bro.
downside of the internet being as good as it is these days, right? With rollback netcode, you don't need to get together to play Street Fighter or Tekken anymore. It's like the best way to do it. Just a bummer. I think I know your favorite hack and slash. Is it DMC? Is it Gaiden?
You pick. Those are top two. Which one? If you had to boil it down to one, which one?
Like, because if it were me, and again, I go for style. For me, it's DMC.
Devil May Cry all day. I think the combat just feels more fluid. It feels more responsive.
The introduction of Dante, the cutscenes, the action.
So if Ray is a Nintendo guy, TDK, what would you say you are? Like if you had to really boil down to like one brand that you had to stand for to the end of time. You had to pick
Sega.
one.
Yeah, it's Sega. Okay. Yeah, that's the whole. That's the whole push and pull of our podcast.
I'm not gonna lie. Nintendo. I'm Team Sega. Also, I'm gonna.
Let's take this time to ask him some of the pertinent questions of the pod.
Yeah, let's hit him with it.
Is it time?
There's no way that there's a round table pizza in his neck of the woods.
No, but I had it, bro, when I went to San Francisco.
Okay.
So we are Sega or Nintendo. I'm much more of a Sega. Like Dreamcast, I had a Saturn, I had a Genesis, I had all of them. So we have Sega or Nintendo, which I'm happy to hear where you stand on that. We have Pizza Hut or Round Table. You have any opinions on that?
Bro, I'm a Papa John's kind of guy. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, a curveball.
Papa John's, bro. Yeah, I love Papa John's.
I'll speak for myself, but I don't think the pizza is very good at either of those places.
Oh, yeah. It's fast food type of pizza.
Yeah, it's more about the nostalgia of going there, going to the game room in the corner, waiting for your table, all that stuff.
Aladdin SNES or Aladdin Sega Genesis?
I know that Aladdin on the Sega Genesis is one of the best games on that console. I heard a lot of praise about Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. I don't recall a lot of praise being on the SNES. The SNES is known for its RPGs. And then with the Genesis, it's all about platforming. I mean, the platform and challenging platformers at that. The
Gunstar Heroes, Shinobi, yeah.
Shinobi games, yeah, exactly. Sonic, obviously. I'm gonna have to pick on the Sega Genesis. I just think that's a better console to play platformers.
Did you ever play Comics Zone on the Genesis? People who know, they know. You got to go back because you have one, you said, right?
Yeah, I do have one. Yeah.
For you specifically, this is going to speak to you. You're a comic book artist in the 90s with a ponytail and you get sucked into your own comic and then you're fighting your way through a comic book.
I've seen this game before. And the reason why I know about it is because when I repurchased my Sega Genesis, because when my parents divorced, it's literally like a Metroid Prime game. I lost all my powers. And I lost all my consoles and I have to reattain all of them back. So when I rebought my Sega Genesis, I went down this deep dive of all of these Genesis games like that people recommend and everything like that. Earthworm Jim was on there. Totally. That was one of the games. I didn't recognize it by the title, but when you were describing the concept, I was like, I know what he's talking about. We need games like that today. When you mentioned Comic Zone, I thought of Cuphead. I really like, games like that just push the envelope. I mean, Tearaway.
Dude,
not a lot of people talk about.
What did I play that on? The Vita, it had like buttons on the back, like a trackpad or something. I feel like Tearaway had some kind of mechanic with that.
Yeah, right here.
Great game and super innovative. I love the art style.
I want to hear some hot takes that you guys have. What are some hot takes or opinions that you guys have of maybe some popular games where you're like, dude, absolutely not?
My hottest take, I played it because I was part of the scene. I think Mortal Kombat games will never, ever hold the candle to a Capcom fighting game. I just think the animation is too stiff. It's just not as fluid as I want my fighting games to be.
The charming part is that it's so clunky, right? Like, that's what I remember about Mortal Kombat.
I'm a gameplay guy, man. It can't be clunky. Like, game feel.
Playing Street Fighter 2, I could totally see that. Off the top of my head, if I had to say the hottest take in the context of gaming is that I think gaming's dying. And not because there's not an interest, but because they're pricing it out. Essentially, if you want to be a gamer right now, we're talking about the PS5 being $1,000, or you're saying, oh, just go and do a really great PC build. But even that, are you specifically marking it to people over 40 with six-figure incomes? Because who's going to pay for this? And what parents with children and expenses and mortgages and gas buy two consoles? Like, who's going to get your childhood these days? Like, nobody's going to do it. So now kids are just going to be scrolling, or they're going to be playing mobile, but it's so fast. There's no delayed gratification. There's no kind of sense of achievement. We're going to have a generation where gaming is of the past. Like, they don't do it anymore. It's just scrolling.
Yeah,
damn.
I think,
I'm over here shitting on Mortal Kombat. CDK is giving us the state of the world.
yeah, bro. Damn, bro. That's deep. That's deep. I do it with my nephew. My nephew's 4 years old, and I put him onto Dreamcast. I put him onto PS2. I think the solution to that is just go retro. I mean,
the game developers, they're not doing that. We can seek that out. But if the people who are making what's new, if there's not a market for that and there's not money to be made to do that, how is that going to be sustainable in the future?
Your argument is everything's too expensive, right? Go back to 6th, 7th, 5th, 4th gen. Like, go back in the past. Like, for example, the PS2 has thousands and thousands and thousands of games. I mean, the PS2's library alone, not many consoles can even rival it with its sheer numbers. From first-person shooters, you have, games like Black, Area 51, racing games. Sure. You have Jack X Combat Racing. You have,
so what you're saying is, like,
go back.
Don't go to the movies anymore. Don't watch new movies. Just go back to the 70s and watch really great, gritty cinema. Educate people on movies of the past. We have enough. We don't need more.
I think what I'm trying to say is, like, for example, I hear people say, like, oh my God, how am I going to conquer my backlog? There's so many games I got to beat and blah, blah, blah. Or people are saying, like, oh, like, games today suck or whatever. It's like, well, if it sucks, then just go back. Because there's so many games I have yet to beat in my backlog. There's so many PS2 games I have yet to beat. And I still find a lot of joy in playing Xbox original games, and PS2 games. Are some of them clunky? Sure. But some games today are clunky.
100%. And once you're in it, the thing you said about give it 2 hours, I did the same thing recently with a Bully replay, and it was so clunky. And then after a while, it basically just looked like HD to me. My brain was in it. Didn't matter.
Like, I'm going to be honest. I still think DMC3 and DMC1 and Ninja Gaiden 1 of the Xbox original, I still think they are still holding the crown in terms of the hack and slash genre. If you don't have the money to buy a $6,000 monster of a machine or $1,000 PS5 Pro or whatever, do what I did. Go to your local retro game store, get, a Wii or a PS2 for like $120. And there are a lot of great games like DMC3. I think it's going for like $15-20 if the modern day games are just too expensive and too overwhelming financially. So yeah, I would just go back. I think that's my answer to that. And then also, I'm going to be honest, bro. Like if somebody was like, oh, Craig, I can't afford a PS5, bro, you're really not missing out on much. I'm going to be honest. You're really not missing out on much. There's only a very select handful of modern day games today that I can really praise. And guess what? A lot of them aren't even AAA games. They're indie games. They're AA games. Expedition 33 won Game of the Year. And it's also about doing your due diligence to look outside the box, Like people say like gaming is dying. Okay, well, why is gaming is dying? Oh, because, Call of Duty sucks, bro. And like the FIFA games are the same. It's like, well, that's all you play. Of course, gaming is going to feel like it's dying if that's all you play. And then you suggest like, I don't know, like Bloodborne. Oh, I'm not playing that. And it's like, okay. And then you suggest Minecraft or Cuphead. And they're like, oh, that's too kiddie. That's too childish. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of like saying, oh, art sucks. And all you're looking at is like abstract expressionism. But it's like, look at Baroque art. Look at the high Renaissance period. So my suggestion is to branch out. Same thing with metal and rock, man. They say it all the time. Oh, metal is dying. Rock is like, no, it's still here. It's still alive. You're just not paying attention. Look, you gotta seek it out. You gotta seek it out.
I think that's a great message. Seek it out. We should leave it on that. Like that's it. You're not going to get any better than that.
Man, Craig, it was awesome hanging with you. Before we go, obviously, we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to shout yourself out. Where can people find you and check your stuff out?
Yeah, bro. So everybody can check me out on Instagram, CRT_Craig, CRAIG. A lot of people want me to do long form content like on YouTube or maybe start streaming and stuff like that. But right now I'm focused more on Instagram because I like short form content. It's very instantaneous. And I feel like I got a really good grip on making short form content that is very digestible, entertaining, and knowledgeable. You can also follow my art account. My art account is in my bio. It's Craig_the_creator. So Craig the Creator, if you want to check out my art. And I make a lot of cool gaming content. I trigger a lot of people on the internet for my controversial takes, even though I don't think they're controversial. I'm just not following the status quo, I guess. My final message is, be yourself, man. The internet, it's a judgmental place no matter what. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. You guys have a nice synergy. You bounce off one another. I could tell you guys are really good friends. And that's what it's all about, right? And I would love to hop back on here with you guys, man.
Don't tempt us with a good time. You'll be back here in no time.
I just love talking about video games. I'm very passionate about it. I'm also just a naturally talkative guy. Like if you guys didn't end it now, I would have went on for 2 more hours.
And part 2 of our episode with CRT Craig starts now. Craig, thanks again for hanging out with us. It was a pleasure. I can't wait to have you on for part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. TDK, always a pleasure. Any last words, my friend?
Craig, you are a natural fit. We're definitely going to see you again. And I'm going to check out your art, dude. I got a commission coming your way, or 2.
Awesome, bro. I look forward to it.
Thanks a bunch for hanging out with us. We will see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, everybody. It's Ray here. Just wanted to thank you for tuning into the Dire Pass Level Podcast. If you want to hang out and join us for the next episode, make sure to like and subscribe. That way you're notified when our next episode releases. If you really, really, really liked it, you'd do us a solid if you left us a review. Reviews are a great way to spread the word about our podcast, and the more gamers to share these stories with, the better. All right, we'll see you next week. Have a good one. There we go.